Yes. Recording started.
Oh boy, look at all these fresh young faces.
Yay!
I always want to learn about sex.
I mean, the second year, like, you share that too much. Yeah. I know. All right. Lana, there you go. Cherry or cherry? Read it what says. Oh, wow.
It's
what?
Are you gonna do this first?
Yeah. It's super easy, just 3 questions.
No one's funny. I talk to someone.
What does extremely comfortable mean? That's what I want to know. Does that mean you seek it out? I think it's the opposite. Comfortable, I'm comfortable, but the other way around. You seek it out or wow.
So we did you like to?
Almost.
You
Oh, now I get you. Sure, round up. You do? All right. Wait, did you mark it? PGY2? No, I didn't.
Wow.
All right, Lana, you're PGY2. Lauren, you can mark PGY2. Yeah. Just round up, everyone.
Matt, we missed you at both today.
You didn't call me.
But you're supposed to just be there.
Oh, just like standing there,
Waiting.
Wait, just like on the bar.
Exactly. We'll do some today, yeah? Are you on cardiology again?
I'm with Kev Moose.
Oh, good. Did you guys see my patient? Or
No, I saw another patient.
he didn't trust you with that one?
Probably why. Oh, Dr. Steve's patient. I better see him personally.
Oh, okay, the other way around. Yeah.
Otherwise, he'll get.
Oh, you just stand up. How are you?
That was great.
How was life? You guys spent the day at UCR yesterday?
Yeah. And then we're also there again for
Good and hard, right? If the patient comes back after you've done CPR, and it's like, because you broke the wrist, okay, you did it right there. So, that's a true story. If you don't feel a pulse, do chest compression.
For my lecture and everything. Did you have a good time? I played my contract, so I have to come on.
What service are you on right now?
Family medicine, team 1.
Is that the inpatient? Anything interesting?
Many, we have a possible PCP pneumonia that we're trying to work up in the lab right now. And a newly diagnosed virus HIV. And that's always a unique animal because it's not clear. It's not like a radiological diagnosis. You know how you diagnose it?
I know how you treat it.
Yep, I know.
That's right. And I know it's like 200, what is it, like your C4 is 200 or something?
Typically, that's when you start to expect it, but you can get it out of that. But you don't know what it's
How do you diagnose it?
So it's by a silver stain of the either bronchoalveolar lavage or a induced urine. So everything else just leads you in the direction of suspicion.
All I know is sex to me is a four-letter word.
Like 2 very things about it.
What do I do?
You go Jordan.
Is the person also starting out like retroviral stuff?
When you talk to me, what do you usually
He was already started recently, but He went to one clinic, got diagnosed, went to another clinic, and they didn't get the result. And the other clinic was acquired by the even though they call it right.
Right.
No, they don't. It's like the biggest house. Iconic medical record. Anyways, it's another story. So then they couldn't get it better. And then they reordered everything. They started on then he showed up with the yard. So we only know to see. But if it has PCP, pneumonia, then.
Then summertime.
It's all fine.
They don't want to
He has that.
leave.
Great.
I'm sorry, what?
I think it's a.
Oh.
Wow. Remember, what you see before.
I think we're gonna wait a little while. So if you can please do me a favor, fill this little pretest out. And then also I passed out these notes first. If you can grab one, have one ready because we're gonna have an exercise right too.
Can I get one?
Are we gonna interview each other about our sex party?
We'll talk about what's inappropriate and not inappropriate. Why are all the inappropriate comments coming from the two of you?
The two old men.
I know.
That's right. We're just saying what the word.
Yeah, I know. What do you need? What do you guys need? Oh, cute.
What's the story? Did you finish that note? Okay. Come on in. Hey, how are you? Long time no see. Good. I know.
Yeah.
I heard the lady was having like. Right? I was fine.
So now that the third years have finally arrived, we
That's never good. That, oh, there's another one? Is this, that was. You back?
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I have lots of announcements. So today's exciting day. We have our new interns in house. I'm on the way to time. Welcome. Get ready. We're on fast mode now. So you might want to put your seatbelts on. Sorry, everybody else. We'll get into it, but start getting more text messages, more emails. So they can tell you and attest for it. I'm very strong on emails and text messages. So check them. It's very unprofessional not to check your email and your text messages. So if you can get them to link into your phone, very preferable because it's not acceptable if you get an email and say, oh, I didn't check it for the last couple of days, and there was a huge reminder on there or an announcement. So make sure you guys get those because that's the best form of communication. Sometimes it goes by text, but sometimes it's by email. So you guys need to be on top of it, just like you would for your patients if they needed your assistance. So make sure you guys keep track of it. So I think since this is the first day you guys are joining us, maybe if we go around the room so that everybody kind of announces who they are, because I know there's a lot of faculty and faces that you guys probably have not met since interview season, or didn't even get to meet them during interview season. and then the current residents that are here. So we'll start off with Nina.
Hi everyone, my name is Nina. I'm the behavioral science educator.
And Dawn.
My name is Dawn Nephews, and I'm the new summer intern from HTC.
So remember last year, guys, when we had Kai?
From where?
From HTC.
What's that?
That's Health Career Center. So it's I intern. I'm a nursing student, and I get through a scholarship. I'm an intern being paid through HTC.
I'm Jessica. I'm a second year. Third year. But not yet graduated. Thanks for that.
I'm Stephen Wynn. I'm one of the third years.
Teresa Fu.
Thanks, Brett
So we
White.
also have chief and vice chief.
Thanks, Brett White. I'm one of the hospitalists. I'll speak for the year.
Pat Sweet, hospitalist, family medicine doc, endoscopist.
I'm Shannon Taga. I'm a pediatrician.
I'm Lauren Carlson. I'm one of the faculty. I know some of you.
I'm Florida Garcia with
Matt Lewis, I guess PGY2 as well.
they got their contract. I haven't seen it.
Wayland Tang, the church.
Peter Zhang.
Robert Shoulders.
Cody Bilski.
PhD intern. Sherry Bravo intern. Sarah Gomez intern.
Dr. Sorcy, faculty, welcome, Doc.
Dr. Petrie, gosh, do I say third year?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's Dr. Your first name.
Valerie. Same. Well, welcome everyone. We're going to go through our usual announcements, and we have a lot. So I will email these out too, because it has a lot of dates and a lot of times on, so it's good to put them on your calendars. So you will be receiving, if you already have not, I think they sent them out today, an email that'll say by no reply at cpp.com. And what that is, that gives you a link to the Myers-Briggs personality test. So upcoming in July, all the residents and some of the faculty will undergo a Myers-Briggs personality test along with this training, which is kind of on the behavioral side of it. And we go through a fun workshop this year. It'll be much better than last year. We're not doing that. But this portion needs to be filled out before, I forgot to look on the, I think it's July 7th, or even there's a deadline on it. So if you guys can make sure to look out for that email and respond to it accordingly. You guys had, so maybe you guys should announce yourselves too. This is what my name, and I guess you
Voice. I'm Anthony. You want to
All right, so I know that a lot of you guys, a lot of the third years, and also a lot of the new interns went through BLS training this morning, so please be sure to give a copy of your card to Sarah so we can document your date, your expiration date, so we can track it for 2 years from now. The Family Medicine 17th Annual Resident Research Competition that was held on June 8th. We had 4 residents who attended. They all did great, excellent presentations. Special kudos goes out to Dr. Teresa Koo, who placed 3rd for oral research presentation. Also got $350.
Yeah.
So throughout the year, we have these research presentations, so I strongly advise you guys that if you see a great case, an interesting case, whether it's on your adult patient service, your ID service, your cardiology service, whatever service you're on, general surgery, trauma, grab it and put it in your bank for a possible poster presentation. It's really not that hard. I know that a lot of the residents who felt like it was a big hurdle to do, ultimately at the end when they finished it was like, it really wasn't that bad. So,
The abstract, you can abstract the poster very easy.
Yeah. And then maybe it might not take as much pushing on my no. Because they're like, I'm sorry, I don't want to do it. It's a gentle push. All right, so you are going to do it, right? Yeah. All right, FPL panel speakers is on Wednesday, June 21st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at UCR So thank you to the new entrants who volunteered. That's Peter, Sherry, and Weiss. We're going out that night. And then our third years that agreed to go along are Kenneth, Stephen, and Brian, right?
Yes.
Brian. So it's Wednesday, June 21st from 6 to 7:30. It's very laid back. It's really for the high school students to ask you questions on why you went into medicine. That's all it is. Very laid back. I think Brian did it a couple years ago, and he said it was a lot of fun. And the FPL is our pipeline program. So that's the Future Physician Leaders Program. So it's a pipeline program from UCR that helps out in the Valley to help inspire the youth in this Valley to go into the healthcare-related field and into medicine. So it kind of leads back into UCR. We have a code simulation workshop on Thursday, June 22nd from 1:30 to 5 p.m. at the Simulation Center in Riverside. So please make sure you're there before 1:30. So this is for all residents, first through third years. Be there before 1:30. I look at the third year. Before 1:30. So we're going to start promptly, and then we'll split up in groups once we're there.
No obligations afterward? We have dinner out there?
You can.
Yeah,
We'll have
wants
dinner
to
out
get
Yeah. For the interns, well, unless you're on inpatient service, okay. So I have to think about it. So if you're on inpatient service, you should come back and help out your team. You need to. Have to. For the interns, professional photo shoot is Friday, June 23rd from 2 to 4 p.m. at Frank Junior's. It's right across the street at Residency, so we'll help you find your way out there. So please make sure, cut your hair, style your hair, shave it, iron your lap coat. I'm very big on ironing your lap coat for presentation. Okay. So make sure you look nice and stiff before it, okay? DRMC Med Staff Reception wants to introduce the new interns at DRMC on Wednesday, June 28th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And that's at the Sturgis building, which is right across the way. It's walking distance from here. It's that ivory white tower building. Finger food and drinks will be provided. And the finger foods are actually pretty good, but that is a mandatory event for all the new interns. For existing residents, please try to make it out there and support your new residents always. All right. ACLS certification is scheduled for Friday, June 30th. That's an all-day event from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Be sure to check with Sarah that you're on the list to get certified, because I believe we lost it today.
Everyone made it.
Everyone made it? Yeah. Oh, yes. If you missed it and you needed recertification, you pay for it on your own. I'm giving you a one-time to-go fee because no other program in UCR actually pays for their residents. So please take it as a gift and go. It's scheduled for an all-day event. The next one is street medicine is also on that same day from Friday, June 30th. So if you're at ACLS, you don't have to come back for street medicine because you'll be out there all day. If you're not, so for those new interns that are not, that don't need ACLS certification right now, please go to street medicine. It's from 12 to 1 o'clock. And I think third years will be asked. Oh, Jen said she would go.
Gonna go.
Yeah, we need some. Mallory's gonna go. Perfect, you got it. All right. The annual intern welcoming party will be on Saturday, July 8th. So mark your calendars for that from 12 noon to 5 p.m. It is a swim party out in La Quinta. Family is welcome. Food is served. So, if you have others that you want to bring, then definitely bring them.
Can you hear me now?
It's very hot. I think we are in the desert. Bring your sunscreen, bring a swimsuit. I don't care what you look like. You will not survive out there if you don't bring a swimsuit. You have to go in the water, come back out, go in the water, come back out. Otherwise, you won't survive out there. It's just way too hot. But we'll have some snow cones and things like that and food out there. And it's usually a great event. So you guys go. Faculty try to make it. Residents, you make it. All right, internal medicine review update. There's a course chair of internal medicine for UCR. So he has this great internal medicine review course that's being held Saturday, July 9th through July 29th, through Sunday, July 30th. So it's a Saturday and Sunday at the UCR Extension Center. So very close, it's drivable, so you don't need to spend overnight. I know you guys don't get CME credit. For the faculty who want to go, it's 20 hours worth of CME credit. So it's actually quite a bit for a 2-day event. Registration for residents, not staff, is $140 for both days and $80 for one day. For the residents, if you want to go and you're serious about going, so meaning if I pay for the registration for you, you're going to go. So if you want to go, let me know, and I'm willing to pay for the registration for you guys to go. So definitely let me know. For the third years, I need your guys' electives. So we have, I think, July, August, and September set, but beyond September, I need October, November, and December out right away. So if you have an elective time scheduled for that time period, come see me. Let me make sure I have it on the books, and then I know accordingly how to schedule it in clinic. And then also, if we need to prepare for it, it's an away elective and so forth. So you should come. And other than that, I think that's it. I will email these out, so definitely you don't have to write all those dates down.
Just one quick announcement. If anybody's seen my fetal heart tone monitor, it was in my cupboard downstairs in the bottom on this side. Please return it. It's probably, I'm sure somebody just used it for this one.
Does it have your initials on it?
It's got my stamper.
Oh, okay.
It's got my name.
Yeah, so be on the lookout. You probably need to ask all one of the people to set it our stash. They might have just put it back in our stash.
I know you guys have one too. You guys have one. You guys have one as well. But yeah, I didn't look at my stash. It'd be there.
Yeah, it might be in there. I might have just thrown it in that stash.
Yeah,
okay. So without further ado, we also have hepatitis C representative outside. So after a conference, please, if you're interested in hepatitis C, as it is now treatable in the clinic, stop by her booth for more information. So without further ado, we have Nina Ruedas.
All right, real quick, we do have a pre-test and post-test for this. So what's going on is I actually had a friend who's a behavioral scientist at some other residency program, and she asked me to put these PowerPoints together. So I'm actually test writing it on all of you, but to make sure we're actually learning something, I have a pre-test and a post-test. So yes, please fill these out. I also pass out some note cards and then have these ready. This is a pre-test, so you gotta fill it out now if you haven't already done it. And then we have some cards to pass out. Hopefully there's some extra ones on the table. And those will be for exercise we're gonna have. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so do me a favor, grab your card, and first I want you to write your definition of sex. Yes. So go ahead and write your definition of sex. No cheating. We do have some pens up here.
What does it mean if you use the big pen? Huh?
It means a lot. You want to get into that psychology?
Yes. All right, we fold it.
All right, here we go. Extra pens. Can you give me some back?
Sure.
Now are you able back there? Okay. So real quick, just your definition of the word sex. Come on, let's do this. Is this like technical? That's your definition of sex. Yeah, all right. No looking around, no cheating. That's right, look down. Oh, so much writing. All right, I'm gonna cut you guys a little short. If you can do me a favor, look to somebody else next to you, and I want you to share your definitions with each other. So go ahead, introduce yourself, share your definition. If you don't mind. I'm sure. Go ahead. Share your definition with somebody else. All right, real quick.
I don't know.
Just in front. All right. So I heard some people were embarrassed. I saw some smiling. I heard some laughter. Just out of curiosity, were there at least two people who had the same exact definition? Kind of. Anybody else had the same exact definition? All right. So I want to read this with everyone's attention. I think this is a really important thing to consider. That we can't always assume that we share the definition with somebody else. And this is a really fun activity for doctors, but it's also a really fun activity for couples too. Because even people who are having sex with each other can have different definitions of sex. All right, so objectives. I'm going to break it down into 5 different steps. We're going to start with creating a safe space, and then exploring cultural perspectives on sexuality, understanding our sexual values and beliefs, identifying ways our sexual values and beliefs impact patient care, and taking positive steps. And by the way, feel free to interrupt, ask any questions at any time. So, creating a safe space. And I'm talking about creating a safe space in this room. So first off, confidentiality. Whatever's said in this room, please let it stay in this room. 2, I want you to respect yourself. I think this is really something that's important in a lot of sex ed programs. Miss out on this component. It's understanding your boundaries and respecting them. If you're not comfortable sharing something, please do not. I want it to be, if you share something, let it be voluntary. And a fun tip, if you share something, you can always start the sentence with, I have this one friend who's wondering. Trigger warning, this is extremely important. Please take care of yourself. If you need to step out of the room, by all means, please do. If you need to talk to me later, please do. And if you are at all triggered at any point during this presentation, then that's probably a sign that you need to take care of some stuff before you see some pictures. Because you should probably talk these things through before you actually are confronted with it in an exam room. All right, number 3, respect others. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So it's really important that if you're going to respond to one another, please do so respectfully. Communication skills tip. Please use I statements to focus on your own experience rather than, confronting somebody else's experience. Also, please no whispering, texting, or passing notes, because as you grab your phone, because we don't want anybody to misinterpret something and feel like they're being judged. All right, step number 2, exploring cultural perspectives on sexuality. So, without looking at the definition, can somebody please define culture? What is that? You're looking. All right. Okay, so textbook definition. It's a sum of knowledge passed from one generation to the next. It includes shared language, religion, arts, norms of behaviors, ideals about illness and healing, politics, social structure, legal system, and economic systems, and so forth. So why is it important to consider culture when we're talking about sex?
Definitions can be different.
Sure. How so?
For example, I guess our definitions of sex are influenced in part by the cultures that we grew up in.
Wonderful. And then, so here are 2 real quick, there's an NPR episode that you can listen to if you want to get a different perspective, and a TED Talk too. This is actually a TED Talk about PrEP and HIV prevention, and it's titled The Best and the Worst Kept Secret. So in case you want to see it, we'll pass out the slides later. So what cultures do you identify with? Anybody want to share? What cultures do you identify with? African American. Thank you very much. Anybody else want to share? Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. And for fun, here are a list of topics that are sex, sexuality, and gender related. So we have a long list. This is just fairly pinching the tip of it. So virginity, definitions of masculinity and femininity, gender roles, your sexual worth, sexual health, orgasm, and sexual pleasure, incest, rape, sexual responsibilities, reproduction, birth control, anatomy, and it goes on and on and on. Want me to continue? Yeah, sex and love, sex and marriage, sex and monogamy, non-monogamy, aging, spirituality, disability, all sorts of topics. So consider the culture you identify with, and what has that culture taught you, or cultures taught you about sex? You can consider the direct and indirect messages you've received from family, friends, elders, your faith, religion, school, doctors, politics, and the media. So I had a fun little discussion with the other behavioral scientists this morning. I was like, pornography, would you define that as an art or a form of media? So we voted media. But yes, so anybody want to share? What has their culture taught them about sex?
It shouldn't happen between family members.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Is that like immediate family members? What about a second cousin? Okay. Good point.
Coming from genetics, it doesn't work between family no matter how hot your cousin.
But it really depends on what culture you're coming from too, because I definitely know some people who married their second cousin. Right? Yeah.
It's actually okay.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you. Any other examples? What did you learn? Yes.
I think fashion has changed a lot over time. Like it's becoming more scandalous as we compare it from 1950s all the way to 70s.
All right. Nice. Thank you, Brian. All right. And do these messages you receive, do they match? Is there an overarching theme? They don't always match. So it can be kind of confusing, distracting. So, formal sex education. We're going to watch a small clip from this. But real quick, let's talk about what kind of formal sex education did you receive while growing up? Yes.
I think it's mostly like abstinence.
Okay, got it. I see some head nodding here. Yes, anybody else? Yes, middle school. Okay, see some more nodding.
I feel like I remember like condom and the banana thing and sixth grade sometimes.
Fun memories.
I remember the video where they force you to watch the mom having a baby.
Okay, mom having a baby video. Great. Overall, were these positive or negative experiences? Oh, okay. I actually missed my one day of sex ed in middle school. It was an hour-long class. I happened to be absent that day, so who knows what could have happened to me.
Now we
This is why I learned sex therapy. This is what happens when your child misses sex ed in middle school. And then how about this next question? How many hours of sex ed did you get in med school? Can you put a finger? Med school? 10. Great.
Yeah, at least.
Where'd you go to med school?
I know. I like
Also
how
with Dr. Jenkins.
Oh, no wonder you
there's
guys
just
are
police
confusing
folk in here. Where did you go?
Albany Med.
Albany. All right. So how about anybody else? How many fingers can you put up? How much sex education did you receive in med school? Three? 2 days. Oh, wow. Like 16 hours?
Yeah, like it was mainly it'll be guys. Like, yeah.
That sounds like a retreat.
I guess missing her.
All right, so the truth is, not all med schools really give adequate sex education. So that's something. If we're not learning how to talk about these subjects, or it depends on what we're learning too, that's going to really influence our care. So it's really something to consider. And then, do you feel prepared to talk to patients about sex? Can you raise your hand if that's a yes? Okay. I see a couple hands in the room. All right, great. So let's go ahead and look at this video. Excuse me while I hope it starts at the right point. All right, so I gotta round up to 220. Jeez, sorry. It was supposed to be cut for me. Okay, now we're just gonna watch.
Sex education. The conversation that animals in zoos refuse to let you not have. Now, with some kids going back to school next week, it is guaranteed that at some point over the next school year, you'll hear stories like this.
Local parents were outraged tonight over the pictures that their children saw in sex ed class. Some parents say that the material, which includes descriptions of sex acts and infections, is simply too graphic for middle schoolers.
A father is upset after his 13-year-old showed him a poster hanging on a classroom door, a poster listing sex acts.
Parental anger over sex ed is as much a staple of the school year as square pizza and one kid coming back from summer vacation with a mustache he's way too proud of.
All right, I'm gonna speed up a little bit.
And second, and this is true, the young man in that video is Jonathan Banks, Mike from Breaking Bad. And if that video does not provide the basis for the prequel to Better Call Saul, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Teaching sex ed in schools is really important for obvious reasons. No parent wants to talk to their kids about sex, and no kid wants to talk about sex with their parents. That is why, when you're watching a movie together and there's a sex scene, everyone becomes motionless and silently begs for the merciful release of death. And kids have good questions that need good answers. The Times recently ran an article with a slideshow of questions kids wrote on cards to a sex educator, including, why is the boy's penis shaped like an arrow? Is it okay to be gay? And how long do I have to wait to have sex? I'm excited. to which the answers are, it's engorged with blood, yes, and can you at least wait until the end of class? But perhaps the most poignant question was, will this go well for me? Because after looking into sex ed programs this week, the answer depends quite a bit on where you live. There is no required standard for sex ed in this country. In fact, only 22 states mandate that kids receive it, and only 13 require that the information presented be medically accurate, which is crazy. You wouldn't accept a history class not being historically accurate. Prince started the American Revolution in 1984, and his purple reign lasts until the present day. Class dismissed.
All right, we're only gonna see that much of it. And you do have the link there in case you want to watch more. So I like to show this particular clip because I like laughing at it too. So hopefully it didn't offend anybody, but I really enjoy it. So in that episode, and by the way, this was aired on August 9th, 2015, John Oliver presented that 22 states mandated sex education and 13 states required that the instruction be medically accurate. All right, today, how many states do you think currently mandate sex education? 23. 20, how many? 23. Anybody else?
24.
24. All right. How many states do you think currently mandate that the instruction be medically accurate?
13.
13. Okay. Anybody else? 2.
11.
He went down. All right. So the answer is 24 states plus the District of Columbia and 13. 13. You cheated though. You were here last time. Anyway. So yeah. So there are 4 states and 2 years have passed. I know it's pathetic. So quick summary. Yes. We got to take our cultural influences into consideration because they help determine what's normal and what's natural, and also what's abnormal and unnatural, promoting stigma and kind of dictating what sex education is delivered in this country to the middle school students, but also to med students as well. We also want to take this into consideration because it helps build a foundation for our own personal sexual values and beliefs. So, step 3, understanding our sexual beliefs and values. In regards to these messages you received about sex, did they match your personal values, your behaviors, your preferred forms of expression, whether that you're expressing love, intimacy, or sexual forms of expression too, and do they match your life? I don't know, but it's something that maybe you want to consider. Are these messages that you received correct or incorrect? Did they change over time? And which values and beliefs will you pass on, and how do you expect to do that? So these are just questions I want to throw out there. I don't expect anybody to answer. But another exercise. So if you can go ahead and take your paper, flip it over, and draw 2 circles. We're going to go ahead and do a sexual values Venn diagram. So on one side, I'd like you to go ahead and write your sexual values and beliefs, and on the other side, your cultural sexual values and beliefs, and right in the middle where they match. Oh. want to waste too much paper, sorry. And it's actually where they do not overlap that causes people a lot of issues and problems. So I've seen people grow up being told by their church or their community that it's wrong to be gay, and yet they are gay. And the fact that it doesn't overlap causes them a lot of internal turmoil. So that's an example of how it might not overlap. Can't think of anything. Bad modeling. Bad modeling. All right.
I was going to mention something.
Go for it.
It's a little more philosophical, but the idea that if it's your value belief, that means you owned it. And so I think sometimes people have accepted values and beliefs that they've owned, but they have desires or I'm trying to, go down that pathway that are different from what they've owned as whether right or wrong or whatever, however they classify it. So it may not be their family or their church. It could still be them, but there's still like a misalignment there.
And this is kind of why I addressed something similar on the previous slide, where it's like, this is what you've been presented. It doesn't match with your values, your life, your behaviors that you act out, things like that. Yeah, and you bring up a wonderful point. Okay. Again, I'm not going to ask that anybody share, but it's something to think about. So let's go ahead and talk about female circumcision real quick. Here's that, make it bigger.
Gold Peak starts with ingredients that delicious homegrown tea and just the right balance of spice. Gold Peak, the taste that brings you home.
I remember laying on the surgical table and my mom watching me, and that was when I really realized that I was going to be mutilated. My name is Soraya Mireille. I'm originally from Somalia. Growing up in Somalia, no one ever talked about it. I heard rumors that, my classmates were calling me the girl with three legs. They wouldn't play with me. They said I was untouchable somehow. I asked questions to my mom, why are they calling me the girl with three legs? She said, well, it's time to get your gift. And I didn't understand what kind of a gift, so I thought it was a dress. Early in the morning, we stopped at this house. It was a long and dark hallway. I never forget that. I can't explain, but you just feel something is not right. I asked my mom, where are you taking me? And she said, it's your time to become a woman. I just ran away, and the last thing I remember was just a hand grabbing my neck and pulling me back. I woke up tied to a surgical table. I remember those rough fingers pulling things, a place that no one ever touched me before, especially a man. I was brought back home, and it was a festivity. My family, my classmates, and my relatives were all there to welcome me and say, oh, we're proud of you. Today you became a woman. And you have to remember, they have to tie your legs together for 14 days. Within 4 hours, you have to use the bathroom somehow. I refused because I felt like this is my only control. I have my body. Most women survivors who had this never questioned, why are we doing this? I remember my own pain when this happened to me. Why are we continuing this? The clitoris is seen as like my penis, unclean, improper. Somehow it's uncontrollable for women's urges, so they will be running after men. If I don't take my child to perform this and have this done, I'm not being a good mother to prepare my child. I try to heal myself, but how can you heal here? So I said the better thing I could do is just to speak up. I came here, made a documentary about this issue to help refugees who are coming here, show the world how horrible this act is and that the world should come and hold our hands to help us end it. I could change what happened to me or someone else. That's what survivor means.
Any responses?
Doctor and the choice. I got research for.
There you go. Yeah, this is actually a current event. And so Dr. Swartzy brought it up in his PowerPoint recently too. Didn't you? Yes, good point. Yeah, it's definitely a current event. So something to consider, because in certain cultures, this is definitely seen as something that should be done. And so just want to point out that some values and messages change over time, but it's something to consider.
I wonder if there was like no infection rate, or if they did it in a clean method. Maybe they used proper anesthesia.
With their
maybe the kid was like really young, so they could remember it.
Exactly.
They accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question to ask. No.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's accepted for males.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, real fun little question. When's the last year that Blue Cross covered female circumcision procedures in the United States? Wait, yeah, in the United States. What's the last year?
Probably never. I don't think.
Never. 2001. I actually don't know how they define it, this particular article. I didn't read the whole thing, to be perfectly honest. But I do know that this is a stat that's kind of that.
Clearly, there's a difference between general mutilation.
They have 4 different phases.
Clitoris.
They have 4 different phases when it comes to female circumcision or female genital mutilation. So I don't know which phase this is, but I have a link for the article. Okay, so here's your link for the article, right down here, and here's your answer, 1977. So it wasn't that long ago. And the link's down there.
But what do you mean? I mean, why would you posit this question? What?
Because it's something that was supported and encouraged and even funded by our insurance. Yes. So they have 4 different phases when it comes to female circumcision. And which phase this one is talking about, I'm not too sure, but yes, it's a form of it.
It's also said that insurance companies are logical enough to know that that's a bad procedure, but I feel like it just depends on the doctors who are kind of like pushing it through. It depends on the doctor who's like reading the insurance company. So it might be a limited view.
So you gotta consider all these things. Yes.
Can I ask a question to the residents?
Go for it.
What is the male counterpart to the clitoris?
The glands.
Yeah, so when we do circumcision in boys, do we cut off the gland? No. So I think this is a gross misnomer that fuels a lot of confusion and perpetuates this, this to me, abhorrent thing. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I'll get to more information where we make kind of comparisons like that in a little bit too. All right, so identify ways our sexual values and behaviors impact patient care. So do you at all disclose your values or beliefs with your patients?
Very rarely.
Very rarely. Okay.
Sometimes they ask you, what would you do if this was your son or your daughter?
Do you answer?
If they ask me, then yes.
I typically punt it back to them and say, well, actually, it's your decision. These are your options. And like medical questions. So say, it's not really for me to decide. I'm just here to facilitate your health. These are your options available. Each has its positive things. In this case, obviously, with operators, so it's not even on.
And this isn't a direct response to that video, but just kind of in general. Like when it comes to using PrEP or birth control method, or even male circumcision, things like that. Okay. And then, so also I want you to kind of keep in mind any kind of judgments you might communicate unconsciously or indirectly too. So here's a video about male circumcision. I actually really like it because it talks about the pros and the cons. I will be teaching at UC Riverside their human sexuality class during the summer, and their textbook only presents the cons. So I didn't think that was too fair because I think people need to understand both sides of everything. But so what are the similarities and differences? I think you brought up some brilliant differences just anatomy-wise. But also this video presents like the fact that some people do it just to desensitize or hope that the kid's gonna masturbate less and things like that. So just kind of the historical reasons why people might have circumcised boys a long time ago. And then do your values about circumcision impact your work or the information you give patients? I see some questions. Here's some yeses. So just certain things to think about. So step number 5, taking positive steps. How do we create a safe space for our patients to talk to us about sex and sexuality? Just like another question to ask you. How do you want to do it? How do you want to create a safe space?
You can tell them that it's a safe space. I'm serious. You know, I tell my patients that anything that they tell me is confidential, and I'm not going to judge them the way they are.
Any other ideas? Moving report. Sure, very important. Not being like open-minded about various students.
Like with your other medical part of the interview, if you come across as like talking down or condescending or discouraging you to do, they're not going to open up about sexuality.
To show that you're not judgmental about the as well. Wonderful. It could even be you can have certain literature in the background or a poster on the wall, things like that too, and deliver sex positive messages. So another fun exercise, if you ever want to, you can go ahead and do another Venn diagram, which is more about your sexual values and beliefs. And oops, it's supposed to actually say your patient's sexual values and beliefs. Because the truth is, I think we make a lot of assumptions, but we're never going to really have a clear-cut idea of what our patients really value and what they believe in when it comes to sex. So, just, I guess, one little message, please avoid assumptions, because although they can be natural, they can also be very harmful. So we're going to watch this video.
I have green eyes and brown hair. I like it that way. I like my teacher, Mrs. Bishop, because she's nice to us. I have lots of friends, and I don't know why they like me. My favorite foods are pickles, pizza, and spaghetti, and I guess I just like those kinds of foods. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and I like my sister a lot. My ears are pierced, and they almost closed up. My birthday is August 1st, and I don't like it in that month because I never have it in school. I am in 2nd grade, and I am moving along in life. I'm 7.5 years old, and I don't want that to change. This is so awkward. My name's Sawyer. I'm 30 years old, and I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I happen to be a transgender male. I think I first felt different when I was about 6 years old. I told my mom that I was a boy, and she lost it. It was not received well at all. And I came out for the 2nd time as an adult when I was 23 years old. I never felt like I was in the wrong body, and I still don't feel like I'm in the wrong body. I think I'm in the wrong society. I think society has expectations of what a man is and what a woman is. If you are not those 2 things, no one knows what to do with you. And that's where violence comes in. That's where negativity comes in. That's where I kind of lie in the middle. I didn't start hormones at all until I was 27 or 28. And so that leaves me with 5-ish years of identifying as a man, but also getting my period. I would wear multiple pairs of underwear with a pair of boxers on top of that, just to make sure that I didn't leak anywhere or that no one knew that I had my period. It's definitely a safety risk. You're in the men's room and somebody hears you, rustling a paper in the stall because you're changing a tampon. That outs you. It kind of became comical because even though I'm a transgender male, I still have it in my head that men are not supposed to have their period. And because that's the way that society taught me, a lot of people don't realize that some men do get their periods because it's just not talked about. There's a lack of trans male visibility, and within that visibility, nobody is talking about periods or menstruation because it is a source of shame. It strips away masculinity because it is viewed as a very feminine thing. So it's very cyclical in that way, that nobody's talking about it because it is feminine, and then it stays feminine because nobody's talking about men getting their periods. And I think it just needs to be talked about more with both women just being comfortable getting their periods, and then also with trans men just stepping up and saying it is something that happens, and that's the human body. That's the way it works. I am a human. I am a son. I'm a nephew. I'm a brother. I am a parent to 2 pets. I'm a roommate. I work in the entertainment industry. I have a job. I pay my bills. Just like everybody else, it's important to know that trans people are people. They're people just like everybody else. They go about their daily lives. They go to work. They go grocery shopping. They are really just normal people who just happen to be different than what society thinks a man or a woman is. It's important to know that trans people are the same people that they were pre-transition. They're just in a different package. They're in a different box.
All right. Any thoughts about that one? So I have a client in my private practice who, if we look at gender on a spectrum, some people see it as male, female, and everywhere in between. But sometimes people forget that some individuals identify as non-binary, so they wouldn't even be on the spectrum. So I have a client in private practice who identifies as non-binary. So she goes by they, them pronouns. So it's not she did something, it's actually they did something. And this client, when they go see their doctor, it's, they go through a lot of pain and discomfort, and just kind of some turmoil. They don't know how to explain that to their doctor, or if their doctor would be open to that. And also, their partner is non-binary, so they go by they, them pronouns as well. So when this person's doctor talks to them about their partner, they assume it's a boyfriend. And when their doctor talks to them about their period or birth control method, they assume they're giving this information to a woman. So just to kind of throw it out there, it's understandable that we make assumptions, but they can be harmful. They can negatively, they can compromise the relationship that you have with your patient sometimes too. So I think it's really important to never make assumptions, even regarding gender. Any questions about that? No responses to the video? You've seen that before? All right. Okay, so also want to throw out there, please avoid judgments as you're trying to create a safe space. This is another clip from the rest of a little later in this clip, so 8:15.
And only 13 require that the information presented be medically accurate, which is crazy. Do it. And look, Abstinence is a healthy choice that many teens will make, either by choice or, as I can attest, by circumstance. Teach. Not just because many studies question its efficacy. The fact is, according to the CDC, most Americans have more than one sexual partner in their lifetime, and the average age at which people begin having sex is around 17. So just saying don't do it is not practical. And even when they do teach sex ed, schools can teach it with a strong bias. We found a company which offers schools 2 versions of the same video on contraception. Version B is labeled as being non-judgmental. Take a look.
Look, no one ever said being a teenager is easy,
You have to face a lot of important decisions.
but no decision is probably more important than the one you'll make about becoming sexually active.
Some of you may already be sexually active.
But still, a lot of you are not having sex yet. You could be waiting for marriage, the right person, or maybe you're just not ready to take on this very serious responsibility right now.
Cool. Those 30-year-old actors dressed like teenagers from the 90s make some very good points. However, version A, which is non-judgmental, goes in a slightly different direction. See if you can spot it.
Look, no one ever said being a teenager is easy,
You have to face a lot of important decisions.
but no decision is probably more important than the one you'll make about becoming sexually active. As a teenager, you're expected to wait until you're married before you become sexually active.
Until then, abstinence is the only option that's acceptable to your family, your school, and your community.
Well, hold on. Why do they even keep the first part about it being a decision at all?
So, anybody want to guess why I shared this video or this clip?
Yeah, I'm going to guess, but is it because these 2 are aired, they've been used both on TV, but geographically different regions?
Oh, I actually know somebody in California who shows the second version A in Northern California for classes. I met her like this weekend. Oh, actually on your birthday.
Yeah, I think it's the cultural differences between the intended audience and the people who are trying to provide the information. So, for instance, with different religious affiliations, they may want to provide one message versus another, and so I think that's where the discrepancy is based on.
Traditionally, the second video is what we taught in school, but maybe in the last couple of years we started to have the option of it's your decision when you do it the right time versus passing the thing. That's all we're talking about.
So one reason why I did show this video, everyone made great points, but I had this in mind because we do sex education in middle schools, and there was somebody who disclosed that people should wait until marriage. So really, what kind of messages are we conveying, and how are they being interpreted, and what kind of impact do they have? So, when you go to the middle schools, keep all of that in mind, please. So that's pretty much it for now. Any questions? Yay, All right, pretty much the same question with some feedback, please. And please take some time to go talk to her outside and pick up this food. She did drive out to the desert when she should be in LA where it's like 20 degrees lower, so. If you didn't, some of you didn't do the free test. You just leave it on the table. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
How's it going? Oh my God.
So we have yeah, I mean,